I mean, how has this pandemic and the situation that we've been changed what you do as a business?
Yeah, and James, look, I'll again open, honest, direct in this. When I look at it, I mean, I made a statement, and I looked at it back in, I think it was the 20th of March. I made a statement out in the marketplace that said by 2023, 2024, I would expect 80% of wholesale to be online, fully online. Now, whether that was 2023 or 24 or 25, or whether it was 80%, 60, 70, but it was the sense of direction that I was trying to give, not be pinned down on exactly those numbers and dates. If we sit here today, 100% of our wholesale marketplace is sold online. Now, that happened instantly at the point that we came out and we were allowed to operate when we came down out of the first lockdown. We have sold, you've seen this, we've had record conversion rates, we've had record valuations and values and residual values for the cars. We obviously have to make our model more effective for that full online environment to get the buyers more comfortable. But we also see the benefits and the efficiencies for our business of not having to run a car through a physical auction hall.
Yeah.
There are efficiencies that we gain from doing that. And I think personally, if we end up having to go all the way back to physical auctions and not embrace some of this change, then I think that, again, we would let a good crisis go to waste for our industry, for our business, and I think for other businesses out there. And I just think what we, again, have to do, as I said before, is we just need to get better at running a digital kind of proposition to make sure our customers, our buyers, our vendors are getting an even better experience through digital. And we're still having to go through that, and we will still continue to work on that from 21, 22 and beyond. But it has had an impact. But we, again, I believe we will come out of this, not just from UK, but globally, we will come out of this a much stronger business, and I think better positioned to deliver the needs and the proposition of our customers.
Will you go back to those physical auctions?
Look, I think, you can't say. I would think that in an ideal world, I'd say that you wouldn't go back to a physical auction world. Now, you'd have to look at what the rest of the market does. You have to look at what our competitors do. You have to listen to our customers and our buyers. But if we can find a way that satisfies their needs, then I would say I would rather move much more and embrace this digital environment. Look, there may be some times and some elements of cars that you might have to have some sort of physical auction presence. But I think to the most part, I think we have to embrace that digital shift and maintain to grow off it.
Because, I mean, I look at the classic car world, for example, classic car auctions, they don't really work online. You know, you want to go and see them, you want to feel them, you want to, the viewing is very, very important. But what you specialize in, it's not really important, is it? And you're proving it can work.
Well, I mean, that's right. And if you think about, look, there's stock that we might get from fleet and leasing businesses or OEMs, and they could be anything young and used from 6 months, and they could be maybe 2 or 3 years old. You know what? That is generally good stock. And if you can get the inspection report right, you can get the images correct, the 360 photography and everything else around that, people should be able to be comfortable to buy. I think it's as you start to enter into the sort of the older cars with higher mileage, I think that that's where you may see that people may want to necessarily go and still feel and touch a car. But again, it's on us to provide that comfort levels and maybe changing proposition that you could still run that in an online environment. And look, people have been buying them and and fighting for them, no matter whether they're a 6-month car or whether they're a 10-year-old car with high mileage, they are selling through the lanes. So we know it works, and we know that we can deliver that proposition to buyers and vendors.
And when do you think you're going to have to make a decision on what you do going forward? I mean, is it a case of when we're in lockdown, we don't change, or are you constantly assessing this?
I think look, we will constantly assess. We will constantly listen to our vendors and our buyers in the marketplace. We will constantly look at our competitors of what they're doing in this space as well. And I think what we should be doing also is as a body, as an armour body, we should be working together on this as well, and not necessarily trying to work at odds. We all service our buyers and vendors. there's enough of us to all work in the market. We should work together on what we believe as an industry is the best way to serve the vendor and the buyer and our customers. So, we will just continue to watch, James, and be reactive and stay agile to the market.
Yeah.